Which book changed the way you see the world? What becomes less and less attractive as you get older? If you could rename America, what would it be called? East Hawaii. That's a good one. South Alaska. Not quite as good. Not India. Indiant. Jim. Perhaps even Jimothy. America in bigger font with an R and also it's bold. The Incorporated States of America? Question mark? The Washington Commanders. That's a good one. Be America. New England. All of it? XX Swagland 420XX. Just name it all Florida. Let's not do that. Amerish. I don't get the joke. If Reddit existed in the 1940s, what would you expect to see on the site? Marilyn Monroe NSFW. If Reddit existed during 1860, what would you expect to see on the site? Hey, I see what you did there. Lots of ways to stretch your food rations. Ankles gone wild. Ankles gone wild petite. Curvy ankles. Amateur ankles. Ask ankles. The list goes on. Yeah, those 1940s folks really liked ankles. So many NSFW shots of women's ankles. Lots of German bots out in full force today. The Manhattan Project getting leaked. What's a movie that never gets old no matter how many times you've seen it? The Princess Bride, Back to the Future, Young Frankenstein, The Shawshank Redemption, Deadpool, and Deadpool 2, The Shawshank Redemption again. I've literally watched the Harry Potter movies hundreds of times. They are always on TV, and I can always casually watch. Braveheart, the score and cinematography is amazing. Step Brothers, The Matrix. Who's your favorite author? Stephen King, John Grisham, Isaac Asimov. It's one of my big regrets in life that I never got to meet him. Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who wrote Fight Club. His books are great, and it's a shame only 2 have been made into movies. Currently, Peter Heller, Terry Pratchett, satirist, pun artist, man with a thorough understanding of human nature. He wrote the Discworld series of comedy fantasy novels. What was your I'm surrounded by idiots moment? Having to explain to someone that World War II and the American Civil War were 2 completely different wars. That's crazy. That's crazy. The day I joined Reddit. I work in a chiropractic office, so... Oh yeah, all that stuff's fake too. Great. Roommates didn't understand when it's hot inside and super hot outside, opening the window will make it hotter inside. My science teacher said autism is curable. WTF. I hope your science teacher is curable. I do too, because autism is not curable. Not even like remotely. It's, whatever. Hearing poor people from the country talk as if Donald Trump cared about them when he was president. I was running through a mirror maze and ran into a mirror. It happens to the best of us, man. Don't worry about it. Worked in retail in Canada. We were talking about the US elections. I said Obama was born in Hawaii, so he was American. 4 grown men laughed at me and said Hawaii was not in the US. The frickin' teacher said that gravity is here because of air pressure. Not true. Simply not true. What jobs are gonna stay safe from AI takeover? Hot yoga instructors. Until you can custom design your own hot yoga instructor bot, that's true. Politics. Buckaroo, I think most politicians are AI and robot. Eyebrow ladies. Was gonna make a dirty joke, but realized that job was already taken over by AI. I say let them have them all. I'm tired of depending on humans for stuff. Art. It is already in the process of taking over it. Well, obviously stealing artworks to feed into the databases. Yeah, that's right, guys. AI art is not real art. It's all stolen bull crap. Don't support it. It sucks. Commission an artist, a real artist, a human artist, not an AI. Anything the lower end working class can do. Construction. Actors would be the hardest to replace with robots. Pretty much any client-facing role. People don't go to the therapist to talk to a robot. What hobby can someone have that raises an immediate red flag? A lot of non-hobbies in here. I work at a casino. Gambling is my answer. People who like to find tiny and cramped caves to climb in and squeeze through. I'm scared of you. I'd be saying that too. I'm super claustrophobic, I would say. A lot of people don't seem to know what a hobby is. Bullfighting tends to raise a lot of red flags. Honestly, I get the joke, but the profession is full of stabbing an animal to make it angry and soaking the blood with said red flag. Farming karma on Reddit. Child beauty pageant judge. That's not a hobby, that's a profession. A bad one. Collecting toenail clippings. Gross. Absolutely disgusting, but whatever. Collecting shoes, but not wearing them. Putting mice organs inside transparent Lego men. And I'm done with this post. What movie has the best 10 opening minutes? 28 weeks later. That zombie chase is one of the most heart-pounding scenes. I have that song in my workout playlist. Always makes the hair on my neck stand up. Saving Private Ryan. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Full Metal Jacket. 10-minute opening is a brilliant comedy sketch. Then the movie begins. One of my favorite movies. Dawn of the Dead. The Matrix. Completely mind-blowing opening. The first Pirates of the Caribbean. Up. The Dark Knight. Do you have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead. How has nobody Nobody said Scream. Casey Becker's death is iconic. Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Holy frick. Gandalf sword fighting the Balrog as they both plummet is freaking epic. An amazing scene. Wally. What tiny thing you off? Whenever I'm finally super comfy in bed and then I suddenly get the urge to use the bathroom. Happens to me way more often than I thought it would, which kinda stinks. Mosquitoes. Leaving kitchen cabinets open. Having to wait for someone after the agreed upon time. People who don't use indicators in traffic. I know that I'm not supposed to know where you're going, but by Christ, let the traffic run smoothly, you smooth-brained piece of crap. People who chew loudly. It makes me so irrationally angry. When I'm about to start doing something, then someone tells me to do it. Yeah, if I'm cleaning my room and then somebody tells me to clean my room, I'm not gonna want to do it anymore. It sucks. I don't get it. When people don't frickin' close the door. This is in any context, any door, ever. If you're leaving it open, you're bad. You're banned. You're the worst. When I'm standing in a queue and someone gets so close to me that they're breathing in my neck. The tiny fake X on ads. People who have a whole conversation on speaker in public. And people who aren't aware of their surroundings in general. Those MFs, I swear. What organism exists solely to mess with humans? Bed bugs. My ex. I don't think I've ever heard someone describe their ex as an organism, but sure. Mosquitoes. Any human parasite, really. Fleas. Sydney funnel web spider. Mind to know you, the spider's venom can only affect one genus of animals, primates, and there are no native primates in Australia. And before someone says Elon. Which fictional character's death made you cry? John Coffey in The Green Mile. The dog from Futurama. You know. Littlefoot's mom. Mine is Going Mary from One Piece. Dobby. Marley and Me had me bawling. This is cliche as heck, but Iron Man. What are some themes in your reoccurring dreams? Have to go back to high school as an adult because turns out I missed some credits. In school, can't find my classroom. Have to take an exam and realize I forgot to attend class all semester. At the airport and realize I don't have my passport. Lot of school stuff. Are you okay? Losing my teeth. I think that's a pretty common one. Finding a new room, or sometimes a whole wing of my apartment that has somehow been there the whole time without me noticing. Sometimes it has incredible things inside, like an amazing bathtub or a beautiful mirror or a carousel horse. It's never exactly the same dream, but the theme has been reoccurring for over 30 years. Missing out on a class all semester, somehow not getting dropped from it, and having to show up for the final. Being chased. I still dream about college. It usually includes missing a final exam. Me trying to run from something or someone, but can't run no matter how much I try. Getting eaten by a dinosaur and being naked in public. At the same time, I would sure hope not. Elevators that won't stop going up really, really fast. I can touch my toes. I cannot touch my toes in real life. My dreams are taunting me. The last thing you Googled now no longer exists. What no longer exists? Let me take a look at my Google right now. The last thing I Googled was, what is marzipan? Because I saw a chocolate that had marzipan in it and I didn't know what it was. So I guess marzipan no longer exists. I love that I was actually checking the tax rates for next year. So you're welcome, world. The IRS is no more. I don't do my taxes anyway. 120mm case cooling fan. I felt a great disturbance in the force as millions of computers cried out in terror and were suddenly overheated. U-Hauls. Sorry, everyone. You mother. I can't remember. Just go look at your history, you dummy. Reddit. Atoms no longer exist in the universe. I last Googled how many atoms are in the universe. Well, goodbye, everybody. That's it. No more atoms. We're all done. Bye. It's either vegetables or greenhouses. Sorry, guys. I destroyed Venus. You're welcome. Central bank digital currencies. Time in Austria. So is Austria gone or is time itself gone? World Cup schedules. Sorry. You know, I'd rather have no World Cup than another World Cup in Qatar. An outhouse. For some reason, I forgot what an outhouse was called and I had to Google it. What's the male equivalent of wearing a guy's hoodie? Realizing when it's cold that big throw or blanket she bought you was a good idea and deciding you definitely need to use it. Getting the hoodie back and it smelling like her. Using her bathrobe. My BF loves using all my self-care items like my exfoliator, fancy skincare, conditioner, hair oil. He calls it using my potions and I love it. Using all of her products that smell like sunshine and rainbows. Finding her hair in my crack. That's a little bit TMI, my friend. Wearing her hair tie on your wrist. Wearing her bra as a hat. That's a good one. I like that. I leave a squishmallow at his place, which he snuggles when I'm not there. Wearing your girlfriend's thong. That's like a rite of passage, it seems. Aliens are here. They asked for the best song we got or we die. What song do we give them? Something tells me that Hotel California is gonna be on here at least once, but I would love to see what everyone says. I vote we Rickroll them. We are immediately killed. Worth it. The song that never ends. They will just fly away screaming. Mr. Blue Sky. Scientifically the happiest song ever made. Tribute by Tenacious D. Ice Ice Baby. Get Ready to Die. Beethoven's Ninth. Ode to Joy. They'd probably enjoy some Daft Punk. I'm Blue by Eiffel 65. I have no reason why, but I think it'd work. Yo, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy who lives in a blue world. Ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Jolene, they'd be confused but in a good way. Sweet Victory from SpongeBob. Starman, David Bowie, would be the obvious choice, but I vote for Wu-Tang Clan, Protect Your Neck. What was the video game you were obsessed with as a kid? I was obsessed with Pokemon then, I'm still obsessed with Pokemon now. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, GoldenEye, Mario Kart 64, and Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. The Sims, Diddy Kong Racing, Minecraft, The Legend of Zelda, Crash Bandicoot, Halo Combat Evolved, Pokemon. Hey, that's the Says Mason correct answer. Tetris. What show has never had a bad season? How It's Made is both one of the most interesting shows I've ever seen, and at the same time, one of the most sleep-inducing. It's amazing. Freaks and Geeks, Black Books, Gravity Falls, Better Call Saul, Saul Goodman, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It just got better every season. Dairy Girls. Each season is better than the last. Golden Girls. So perfect. Futurama. Faulty Towers. Fleabag. I admit, it's kind of cheating, but still, it fits the description. What was the worst decision of your life? Losing contact with the people I cared about because I'll just message them tomorrow instead. Tomorrow never came, and now the relationships are dead. I feel like I can't really find that one worst decision because my life, until now, is just a snowball of slightly bad decisions piling up. Don't quit school because it's boring. Get your driver's license, don't take things for granted, and don't waste money when you can't afford to. Staying in a mutually abusive, toxic relationship because of our trauma bond, as well as me loving him way too much. Getting caught up wanting to be flashy in a fancy car at 19. Please learn about interest rates and depreciation if you've never bought a car before. One of the worst financial situations you can be in is stuck in an upside down loan with a high interest rate and can barely make payments on it. I decided to try to be a parkour expert. I can already see this not going well. My coordination didn't kill my motivation until one evening I was at a local park and decided to do a massive wall jump that failed epically. I fell on top of a jabbed surface and tore my intestines. Due to this injury, I now have a permanent colostomy at the ripe age of 16. Mistakes, man, they suck. Briefly trying to become a lion keeper at the local zoo. Lion poop, man. I legit still have nightmares about it. Worst substance on earth, I hate it. I thought I had a strong stomach, but it legit messed me up the first time I had to clean it. I puked and ended up having to go sit on a bench leaning against a wall with a garbage can next to me. And if any other keepers sort of laughed at my misfortune and reminded me of the task at hand, I'd start gagging again. Poor you, man. That sucks. Was engaged to a 32-year-old mom of 4 kids when I was 21 years old. I was not ready for that life. Dude is a MILF hunter. Leaving Australia and coming back home to the UK, I had a legit shot of starting a new life for myself. Instead, I came back to here for no real reason other than family and friends, which I don't see that often. Became a father within a year, being back with a toxic woman. I've regretted it ever since. I love my kids to bits, and I'm always there for them, but I hate my life to no end. I've accepted it as what it is, but there's always a moment here and there where I think to myself what could have been. Hiding inside behind my gaming computer from the real world instead of socializing in all of my young adulthood years. I had opportunities, I had friends, but I always just said no. Majoring in theater. In my defense, I think 18 is too young to expect a young person to know what they want to do for the rest of their life. Not convincing my son to go into counseling for his mental health. He was an adult and there was no way to force him. If it was the end of the world in 10 minutes, what would you most want to do? Depends on how it's ending. I'm either going to want to self-terminate if it's something like a rapid onset zombie apocalypse, or I'm going to want to get into a good viewing position if it's something like an asteroid strike or large-scale nuclear launch. I would call my mom, but find that it goes to voicemail as she is calling my sister. Then I would try my dad to a similar result, my brother, my sister, anyone. Nobody's picking up and they're all talking to their closest loved ones. At 30 seconds remaining, I would toss my phone and look towards the gracious, outstretched arms of oblivion. You made that way sadder than it needed to be. Holy moly. Seek help, please. I just lay down and try to nap. Probably wonder what kind of mental illness the person who told me that has. Wake my boyfriend up, tell him what's going on while calling my mother. Hug him, the cats, and tell my mother I love her. Also, eat all the frickin' cheese, milk, and bread in the house. I'm not gonna suffer the allergic reaction if I'm already dead. Keep scrolling, but with more urgency. Nothing, just drink my coffee and enjoy the chaos. Very nonchalant, I like it. Probably tell some people how I really feel. No consequences, so I rather take things off my chest. Very selfish and petty, but hey, what else can I do with just 10 minutes? Get back in bed, it's freezing. If the world ends when I'm at work, then I'm gonna slap those stupid bosses bossing us around with their stupid ideas. Yeah, stick it to the man one last time. Hell yeah. Cliche, but tell my situationship I love him and have for a minute now. Too scary to do if the world's not ending, yikes. Funny because he'll scroll past and read this and still never know. Thanks, Reddit. Just tell him. What becomes less and less attractive as you get older? Partying all the time. Egos. That's egos, not egos. Oh my god. That's embarrassing. You know what? We're keeping it in. Egos. True that. It's Belgian or nothing at all. Anything that is loud. Why are some people so so loud. I know, like, it just messes me up. Like, I hate when people are loud for no reason. Like, there are times and places to be loud, but like, why are you inside of a Walmart and you are yelling at the top of your lungs to your little boy to stop messing with the frozen salmon, you know? Stop. You're freaking me out. Trying to fight people. Like, you're grown. Sit down. Me, at least I'm honest. Life. Drunks. Appearances. Personality starts to matter a lot more as you age. Nightclubs. Crowds. The future. Interactions with other people. Yeah, I've always been an introvert, but God, I feel like it's gotten worse over the years. Which book changed the way you see the world? Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein gave me a whole new perspective on what it means and doesn't mean to be human by showing how a man uncorrupted by conventional conditioning might gently but firmly reject many narrow-minded cages we've been trained to accept as human nature. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. There are seriously so many little lines in that book that have helped me grow as a person. To acknowledge that some people don't understand how great doing the right thing is. To recognize that everyone's affects everyone else. To realize that if I'm wasting my potential, it's only my fault. It's phenomenal. My optometrist's catalog of glasses frames. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. It's a short book, but everyone should read it. Wuthering Heights. I read it when I was 14 or 15, and it was my first book where I was having whiplash, feeling sorry and rooting for the characters, and hating them the next, and vice versa. It planted the seed for my love of flawed protagonist and anti-hero in novels. Ishmael. No single book changed me for life. Black Beauty, Tarzan, Three Musketeers, Anne of Green Gables, etc. opened up the world of books for me, so I guess one of those could be the one. 1984, kind of frightening how close we are to that kind of reality. War and Peace. Someone threw it at me once and I haven't been able to see straight since. Animals Farm for George Orwell. Hey, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye!